Hi everybody, this is Sister Omi, and I'm here to do the full moon reading for Gemini. Now this full moon is in Aries, and we know Aries is impulsive. Aries is like the baby, you know. But they do have a certain spark about them, that fire. So how's that going to affect you, Gemini? Well, the Aries harvest moon is a perfect complement to your changeable, twin-like personality. Well, I also see that it's been recommended that this is the ideal time for you to try all of the things that you've been wanting to do, like on your bucket list. Just don't forget that while it might feel like you're ruling like the boss, you're not the center of the universe. And don't be afraid to explore different options. At this social like full moon, be mindful of honoring plans, no matter how interesting the excuse. No one likes to get stood up. So if you promise somebody something and you stand them up, that's like karma's a bitch, you know? It really is. Let me adjust my chair here. So, at this full moon in Aries, Gemini, what's up with you? First card I got here is the Guardian Angel. Ooh. So you're being protected here. The Guardian Angel, she represents all the elements. As her feet are planted firmly on the ground, on the earth, this is like a conscious reality. Her wings make you feel as if you could just go between heaven and earth. That's more of a subconscious reality. And with all the elements involved, you know, pouring the waters, the water element, right? The vase itself is a containing element. The spirit in which she even angel appears is as the air element. However, she is a spiritual leader, your guardian angel. It's like that voice of conscious, right? She represents peace, harmony, spirituality, alchemy of love. So it's a transformation in relationships, agreements, contracts. These characteristics will only last if you use them with absolute faith and respect. And otherwise, using the alchemy and magic will fail. And the meaning will depend on the combination of your intent. Really. So you could use magic and all that other stuff. But what is your intent? What I think is interesting, because the first card we got is the heart chakra and its trickery. So this is like a woman using her body to manipulate a man, knowing she may not want to be part of it, but you know, if she can get some. So you're not really using your heart magic well here. Now that's just an example. And it could be you, hey, and maybe it's not. But I'm sure you understand the example here. Now the heart, this also represents breathing, the lungs, your immune system. And all this green is harmony, loving. How do you give love? How do you receive love? This is about balance and coping, dealing with different ideas. Now, if this chakra is a little off balance, you know, maybe you are having some heart problems or whatever, or lung problems, definitely go to the doctor. On the other tip, you know, maybe you're withdrawn from relationships. Maybe you're just a cold person. And being Gemini, maybe, you know, you're a little bipolar. You know, yes, no, And that's a form of trickery because you're just playing with people's feelings if we're talking about relationships here. Or there's just really a lack of compassion. Or do you put other people's needs in front of your own? Or are you like a martyr? Now, a way to get this back in balance, unless you do need a doctor, and I strongly suggest you go to one, eat a lot of green leafy vegetables, kale, spinach, broccoli, basil, thyme. Do a lot of deep breathing exercises, back bends to open up your chest, open up your heart. Don't be the trickster. Because really, I think I have to, say this. With this particular here, notice here that there may be manipulation because of fear of being rejected. There's no evil intent, only a deep desire to be loved. This card may also indicate that you should practice asking for your heart's true desire rather than fearing someone else's resentment or using trickery. You really want to be loved, but you don't know how to ask for it. So you think you have to manipulate. And I use the woman, because we live in a society, people you may think a certain way. Women use their body or they dress thinking that's how they attract men. And, you attract men, but is that really what you want? Just sex? Just an example. This is about really opening up your heart. Asking for what you want. Are you afraid to tell the truth? Or do you fear being manipulated by others? What do you really need to say with the heart? I would say get some fresh air, breathe, eat some greens, meditate. Just a suggestion. Next card, completion. Now this is the second chakra. This is your spleen. So this is like your urinary tract. Ovaries, what else? Uterus, kidneys. This chakra deals with your feelings and emotions. This is also about addiction. So if you got if you got an addiction, maybe you need to look at it. And I'm not just talking about drugs, going to rehab. There's sex, there's food. You be addicted to anything nowadays. So only you know what that is. But how do you show warmth and intimacy? What are your emotional needs? Have you set proper boundaries in your relationships? So this is saying completion. Here's a warm and cheerful energy. This orange, that's a cheerful energy, even though they're sitting at the cemetery there. That brings calm to any ending. It's not a sad moment. Something is taking place outside your comfort zone. So step into the emotional grace of completion. There's no drama here, only resolution. So, in the present moment, how do you respond to an idea of completion? And even though this is like the cemetery of death, this is transformation. Now go back to the example I used with the trickery. A woman using her body thinking that's how she's going to get and keep a man. Maybe it's time to let go of that right here and deal with an emotional relationship. True communication, honesty. And with this chakra here, it's definitely about drinking a lot of water, especially dealing with your urinary tract, your kidneys and adrenals. You got to keep the fluid. And if there's any blockage, if you're a female, you want to have children, maybe you're having some fertility issues, or maybe you have a sexual arousal disorder, nervous stomach. Another way, maybe you have a creative block, or you have a fear of relationship. You have are you emotionally eating, or is there a sexual addiction or a substance addiction? Are you bipolar? And I'm saying, I know some of these things sound extreme, but I really just want to stimulate some thought here. I would strongly urge you to start drinking some clean water. So if you're drinking sodas and all that, stop. Just drink a lot of good, clean water. And if you can go swimming, swim. Eat orange foods, oranges, tangerines, things like that. Different fruits, papaya, salmon, melon. And maybe do some like ballet or vinyasa style yoga. This is to help balance out this core energy. And going back to the addictions or any of these things, I mean, if any of these things are ringing a bell for you and it's extreme, go talk to somebody. Because know that you have a guardian angel. She is a voice of conscience, the voice of reason. However, don't be the one manipulating, because that's like blocking your blessings here, right? You don't want to be that. That you don't want to do. You don't want to block your blessings. And ultimately, during this period of time, since you're looking at yourself a little differently, this is going to give you some insight here. Undermining influences destroy themselves by destroying their hosts. Good times and good fortune now return. Insight. This is the mulberry tree. I don't know if you remember all around the mulberry bush. This is considered one of the wisest trees because it waits until after all the danger of frost is over before it begins to sprout its spring leaves. You may need to be similarly cautious by holding back until the right moment. Someone may take advantage of you. So, someone may take advantage of you, or make sure you're not taking advantage of someone else. Because everything I say has a duality. It could be you or it could be someone affecting you. But know that you can shape your destiny based on your insights here. So what do you think, Gemini? Huh? What do you think? During this full moon in Aries. Remember, I know you like to run the world like you the boss, but you're not center of the universe. So don't be afraid to explore your options. Just be mindful of honoring your plans. Don't be the trickster, because karma is a bitch. It's time to transform. Eat your greens. Eat oranges, greens. Drinking plenty of good water. And listen to the voice of your conscience. Now, if you don't have a conscience, find some wise person or some spiritual advisor. I would say someone with a feminine energy based on this guardian angel card. And just talk to them. Talk to them about your issues. Talk to them. And you're going to gain the insight that you need. All right, Gemini. Please like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment. And this is Sister Omi. Peace.